it is heated, and therefore it has a slightly different refractive index than the cold air in front of your face. And so when you speak, the mixing of the hot and cold air can be perceived under some conditions, and I would bet photographed under some conditions, as a kind of oily, turbulent something in front of your mouth. Well, is that cheerful explanation correct, or are we on the brink of something else, some more demanding or exotic phenomenon? I don't know. Yeah.
Going back just a little bit, I should probably mention a friend and I have been growing ayahuasca clones. I guess it's from your clone actually, for 3 years. And in the lack of the psychotria or DMT additives, my friend has reported numerous successes with shrooms.
Adding the shrooms to the ayahuasca?
Yes.
What proportion do you know?
Not sure.
It would be interesting to know. I think you might be able to get away with that. Probably what it would be is a fair bit of ayahuasca and a tiny bit of mushrooms. One of the longest, hardest evenings I ever spent was, I got the idea I would take half a dose of ayahuasca and half a dose of mushrooms. And I felt like I was battling demons to return with a shred of my sanity. I mean, it was just ghastly. I'm pretty phobic of that combo.
You took them at different times?
No, I took them together. 2.5 grams of mushrooms and a half a dose of ayahuasca, and it turned me every way but loose. And it was unpleasant. I mean, I really thought I had done it this time. What it did was it interfered. It was very clear it was very clear. What seemed to be happening was that it was interrupting RNA transcription of short-term memory. So I knew who I was and my history and how I had gotten into this situation, but I couldn't remember the last 3 minutes at all. And this would create this anxiety in me. And then I would forget why I was anxious. And then that would create more anxiety. And I was into some kind of intellectual regress that was, and I was just riveted in this chair. And I thought, if this doesn't unsnap itself, they'll just put me in a ward somewhere. I'll just be carried out of here. And it felt like, that scene in 2001 when the guy is outside making the repair, and then he comes back and says, "Open the pod door, Hal." I can't do that, Dave. Well, I could almost see the jammed enzymatic machinery in the synapse. I mean, I had this very clear vision of, oh God, it's gone down the wrong pathway. The degradative enzyme has somehow been locked out of the process. And here we are, folks, circling the airfield, running out of fuel, zero visibility down below. And after about 2 to 3 hours of this, it abated. Well, you should show your slides. It doesn't preclude continuing this. It will just jack it to a higher level. Cool.